Hello, I'm Paul French, Director of the Southern Oregon Repertory Singers, and we're pleased to present another of our short videos featuring composers and singers from the group. And today is a real pleasure to have Jeffri Carrington with me, who's been singing with the group about 10 years. I don't even remember, time before Jeffri was here because she seems to have always been here. And I'd like to start out by just saying hello, Jeffri, and welcome. And maybe if you could tell us a little bit about your singing background. I know you started singing at a very young age.
Yeah, I loved singing from the time I was a little child. I'm sure I annoyed my siblings and parents with singing, but yeah, and I grew up in church and would be front row center, just belting out the hymns, and yeah, just always loved to sing. And then I remember in fourth grade, I think it was, that we had to choose. Oh, Kira, come here. Don't whine. Come on. I have a puppy. We had to choose, what instrument we wanted to focus on. No more. No more. I might have to put him in the other room. And I was very torn between singing and choir or percussion in band. I always really liked drumming and percussion and that sort of thing too. So initially I actually chose percussion, but that only lasted for like 4 days. And then I realized that singing was my real passion. And so I got into choir at that point. And yeah, then around 12, I started taking voice lessons. I had a really great choir director in high school who taught me so much and really invested in me. And so I took voice lessons with him and did all the competitions and went to All State and All Northwest, these big choirs, which were such epic experiences. And it was definitely the most fun for me, the most fun part of high school, because I wasn't that into it, but yeah. So that was kind of the beginnings. And then after high school, I went to University of Colorado in Boulder for a brief amount of time. I first of all, I was paying out of state tuition, but then also I just kind of realized that for me, I wanted to take a different path, that it was very opera focused, and I thought that that was what I wanted to do. But then I realized that I loved all kinds of music and I wanted to experience it all and perform jazz or folk music or all kinds of music. And so I decided to drop out of the university and just kept taking private voice lessons and started performing. And yeah, it's been a great journey.
Well, that kind of explains a lot because you play in a marimba band, I think, and so the percussion background I didn't know about. I mean, this is fun for me to learn a little bit about.
Yeah. Yeah, I finally, as an adult, I've gotten to fulfill that part of my being that loves percussion. And I've been in the marimba band for about 8 years, I think now. So it's been really fun.
And you just love to perform and you play with and sing with all these different groups. Could you just sort of run through what musical activities you're taking part in now?
Yeah. These days, not as much performing, unfortunately, but
Sure.
I still do rehearse and occasionally perform. And of course, once things go back to normal, I'll perform more. But I've got, let's see, an a cappella duo with another singer, Zoe Latarar, and we call ourselves a cappellare, and we do world folk music and classical music all a cappella, and that's really wonderful. We've traveled to Europe 3 times and performed around, and sung in cathedrals, and so that was definitely a dream come true for me. And then I've got a group with Jeff Stanley, who's an amazing guitarist and songwriter, and so we perform together. We're Jeffri and Jeff, and we sing. We go to the wineries or different things like that, and perform there. And it's some of his originals, and then covers. A lot of folk music. I find a lot of the folk music I like tends to be from the 70s. I love Joni Mitchell and those, the good stuff. So we do some covers of that kind of stuff, and then we throw in some classical here and there, and then quite a bit of jazz. So I really enjoy singing jazz as well. And then the marimba band. Yeah, there's 8 of us, and we play Zimbabwean style marimba. I love that music. It's so joyful and so much fun. And sometimes I wish I didn't have to play so I could just dance, because and then yeah. Oh yeah, and I also sing backup vocals in a group called Venus Exalted with one of my dear friends, Adie Bell. She's a beautiful songwriter and plays piano, and I sing backup with her. So those are the main groups right now. And then of course the repertory singers
You know,
is one of my
I
favorites.
I think there's a misconception, a popular misconception about classical musicians that that's all we do. We go
Mhm.
home at night and we listen to Bartok string quartets or something. I
Yeah,
mean, personally, I have
right.
never gone home at night to listen to a Bartok string quartet, though I like them. I've heard them
Yes.
in concert. But that I think most of the people I know who are involved professionally in classical music love all kinds of music.
Yeah, definitely. Oh man, there's so much good music out there. And I personally tend to, when I'm listening to music, it's a lot of world music. I love African music, from different parts of Africa. The kora is a beautiful stringed instrument that I listen to a lot of, and Anwar Brahim is one of my favorite artists. He plays the oud. I often actually listen to a lot of instrumental music more than vocal music. I guess because I'm singing all the time, so
I,
and I get to sing along with it. So there's no other singer to compete.
well, so your own singing, you have a beautiful voice. And before we sort of go there, because that leads directly into the clip, The Prayer to a Guardian Angel by Patrick Haase, which is just unbelievably lovely. Uh, but there are soloists, and you obviously you have a soloist voice. There's soloists who sing in the choir basically so that they get solo opportunities.
Right.
And then there are people who just love to sing, and that's my impression of you. I mean, if you're singing in the choir, you seem to enjoy yourself just as much as if you're singing a solo. Is that,
Absolutely.
yeah?
Oh yeah, just as much, if not more sometimes. I mean, I love singing the solos, I really do. But singing in choir, there's nothing like it. Being surrounded by all these other singers and getting to harmonize and be in tune, and getting to have you as a director. I mean, a great director makes all the difference, and you are a superb director. I really,
You.
really value getting to make music with you, and so it's such a pleasurable experience. And I've never stopped singing in choir since I was 8 years old. When I was a kid, those first choirs where you're all just singing in unison or whatever, and then over time it gets more and more complex. And after high school, I just joined whatever choir I could find, and yeah, it's always been one of my greatest loves.
It's a different, I always preferred it myself, though I went to grad school thinking I might pursue solo singing. Then my life just went a different direction, and I think that was a good call for me, uh,
Mhm.
for my personality and my strengths. Uh, but I always just thought singing with other people, there's nothing better.
So
Um,
special.
it is special.
Mhm.
And we're so, especially now that we can't do it, we're all just missing it so much.
Yes. It was already, summers were already hard in some sense of like having to wait 3 months before getting back to singing in choir. And then this time it's, I don't even know how many months we're going on now. It's too long.
Half a year or so.
Yeah.
Well, so when I first heard Prayer to a Garden Angel, um, I immediately thought of you, actually. The group sounds good because there's so many talented singers in the group. So usually I don't approach a piece with I want this person to sing it. And I think we did still have auditions, but in my heart of hearts, I just heard you singing this because it lies high and you handle that range really well. But just the whole, you have this heartfelt thing up do, which is wonderful. And this is a big heart uh, kind of kind of piece. Did did you enjoy singing it, or was
Oh
this?
yeah. It was probably one of the most beautiful solos I've gotten to sing with a choir, and I really resonate with the message of it that, you know, love and gentleness and understanding is the way to healing, that we all need compassion and comfort. We all suffer and go through the dark nights of the soul, or whatever, different experiences we have in life. And I just feel like the more love and understanding and compassion we can have for each other, the better off we're going to be as a whole, and feel more connected and not so alone. So I feel like that was kind of the message of that, is like calling out to the angel of compassion and love. And I just think that's so beautiful.
It is beautiful, and actually, when I'm looking at music to program, most of it I don't even play through because I look at the text first, and that for me eliminates a lot of things.
Right, yeah.
So there's different kinds of text, you like fun and good humor text as well, but for like the serious part of a concert, and I looked at this text and I was just thinking to myself, I hope the music is beautiful because these words are great. And sometimes that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And the little gem of a piece where the text is beautiful and the music is beautiful. It's a home run. Originally it was a solo, and I think you hear that in the music because it's such a feature.
Yeah.
And Voces 8, he wrote for them
Oh,
to turn it into this piece, and now there's like 8,000 versions. There's probably a kazoo version coming out.
okay. Yeah.
This is his boat payment now because the piece is such a hit. But I'd
Yeah.
like to finish maybe just by reading a little of the text, and then please do enjoy, everyone, this stunning piece. Come in the night, silent and still, angel of light, show the truth of love's will. Dark is my soul and fearful my mind. Help me the purest and gentlest way find. And then the last verse, come in the noon of bright sunlit days, angel of joy, give me right words to stay, inspire my heart with truth from above, renew my life in the healing of perfect love. Um, what we could do with more of the healing of perfect love in the country and in the world. And you and I both are so privileged to be able to put beautiful music out into the world. And we're so honored, really, that there are so many people that seem to be enjoying what we're doing, and we miss you. And we
Yes.
call this series Glimpses of Beauty, and it's a little bit, it's what we can do, and we can't wait to sing for you again. Please do enjoy Jeffri's beautiful rendition of Prayer to a Guardian Angel.
Thank you.